What's going on, Flicks Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for a Netflix original, The Old Guard. Now before I get into the cast, what this film is about, my likes and my dislikes, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe and bell notification to stay tuned and up to date with all the stuff that I have going on this page, guys, whether it be vlogs, watch-alongs, reviews, movie news, and so much more. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that thumbs up and the subscribe and bell notification like I said. Alright, now let's get into The Old Guard. A covert team of immortal mercenaries are suddenly exposed and must now fight to keep their identity a secret, just as an unexpected new member is discovered. Now this film is directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, and she has done a couple of episodes on TV projects, more notably Everybody Hates Chris, The Bernie Mac Show, Cloak and Dagger, as well as working on the films Love and Basketball. Now this film does star Charlize Theron as Andy, Kiki Lane as Niall, Matthias Schoenaerts as Booker, Marwayne Kanzari as Joe, and Chiwetel Ejiofor as Copley. Alright guys, so right off the bat, what do I like? I like the subject nature. I like the fact that these are mercenaries. The lore is very descriptive, so we get to see their fights through history, and that's something that I absolutely love, coming from, Marvel or X-Men, or just these, characters that we've known and grown to love that either have healing abilities or just super abilities. In this case, they do have healing factors, so if they get shot, they almost regenerate, instantly, or if they fall from like a 50-story building and break all their bones, I mean, they're magically whole again in like 30 seconds. So there's a lot to kind of unpack here as far as a lot of these characters go, guys, but the main reason I wanted to check out this film was for Charlize Theron. I mean, we saw Chris Hemsworth in Extraction, so I was already really rooting for another packed action movie, for Netflix. I really loved that movie a lot. I didn't think I loved it as much as most people, but it's totally okay. I loved it for what it was. The Russo brothers attached as well for that one. So The Old Guard has a director that I'm not too familiar with, a cast in this film that I'm not too familiar with at all, besides Charlize Theron and Chiwetel, like I said. But that's okay, because I got to introduce myself to a couple of new people that I am looking forward to. Alright, and another character I really kind of grew to love in this film, guys, was Kiki Lane, who plays Niall, and I believe she's in If Beale Street Could Talk. That was a film I did not catch, but it was really, really critically acclaimed. A lot of people did like that, so I might go back and check that one out, because I really did like her performance in this movie. I thought, her introduction was awesome. It showed that she was a Marine, and the team around her was mainly female, so you don't usually really see that in these type of movies. It's usually, one female in the front, surrounded by a bunch of men. So kind of the flip side of the coin, where it's a whole female squadron. I thought that was cool, of Marines, and we got to see how strong she was, not only physically, but just, tactical as well, and smart in some of her decisions. So, once she starts discovering that she is immortal, the team of Charlize Theron and a couple of her guys around her, are out to capture her, just to kind of let her know that, there are more of her out there. And that's kind of where the X-Men factor kind of comes into play, where you have the Professor Xavier, school for gifted mutants kind of comes in, and there's always this protecting bubble around those type of mutants or those superhuman beings, where they always need to be protected. But on the flip side, you have the villain, of course. So you have Chiwetel and his team just wanting to find out more about the immortality factor of these characters, and use them for whatever gain that they're going after. It's a government type of deal. And in that sense, I thought that story was so recycled. And that's probably jumping to one of my dislikes, was it wasn't anything that razzle-dazzled me as far as on the brand new factor. So that's where I got to kind of fault it a little bit. The writing could have been a little better. The execution of everything. I think most people are going to be watching this just to see Charlize Theron and her team kick ass. If I'm being completely honest, that's the only reason I wanted to watch this movie, guys. And did I get to see that? Yeah, I mean, so for 2 hours, you get to see, spurts of that, mainly towards a little bit in the beginning, and probably towards the end. The third act was the part that kind of picked up a bit. In the middle, you get chunks of all that lore of, certain characters that didn't survive for whatever reason, or just things changing. And of course, we get our cliffhanger ending, which I thought was very cliche. And another fault, guys, I gotta fault the music. It's like there was a lot of cinematic music in there, but for some of the fight scenes, you got a lot of this like electric pop vibe, like trap beats and stuff like that. And I just was not feeling that at all whatsoever. I thought it seemed very commercial, and I just kind of got to fault it for that. And I didn't want to make this too long, guys, because if you're watching this film, you're kind of going into it either a sci-fi person or just an action type of fiend. There is some dynamic between Luca Marinelli, who plays Nikki, and Marwan Kenzari as Joe. I won't go into any spoilers, but I thought showing that dynamic aside that we don't get to see, especially in cinema, over the past forever, we're seeing that more to light. But the bond between those two characters, I thought it was different and interesting shown, and I kind of like that on screen, as being thrown into this whole immortal mercenaries. It was a different pace, but I appreciated them for tackling that. And other than that, I thought it was just kind of a little cookie cutter of an action movie. But once again, the action, if you guys can check out some of the behind the scenes, Charlize Theron was hand-to-hand combat, kicking ass. A lot of it was not cutaway shots or shaky cam at all, which I do appreciate, but I actually did like those scenes, whether she's wielding the axe or just kind of fighting hand-to-hand, or even some of the tactical gunplay at hand. So for that, I think I'm going to give The Old Guard overall, guys, a 3.5 out of 5, saying definitely give it a watch. Most likely there will be try to be some spin-offs or like a sequel in the works, but that may not happen. It is straight to VOD, so we'll see with the star power of Charlize Theron how this does in the next coming weeks. All right, guys, have you seen The Old Guard? Are you going to check it out? Once again, it is a Netflix original, so you guys can check it out streaming in the comfort of your own home this COVID year. All right, guys, and if you did appreciate my review, please give me a thumbs up, and once again, hit that subscribe and bell notification for more content like this and more content coming up soon, like watch-alongs, like vlogs, like movie news. All that good stuff is going to be here on the channel. All right, guys, till next time, I'm gone. Peace.